Hi guys, what's up? I hope you're doing fine. Welcome back to my channel. You know what's coming, so let's just jump right into it. I'm using A4 clear sleeves as well as A5 ones, a utility knife as well as a piece of cardboard. For my standard photo cards, I bought 9 pocket sleeves. Then the tool that changes one's life and is definitely worth investing in, it's a fuse tool. And I like to use a ruler as well. Okay, so let's just jump into this and start with ATs. Figuring out the layout is probably the most complicated step. For ATs, it was pretty straightforward because the format of their lyric cards is just so convenient to work with. So for these horizontal ones, I'm using an A4 sleeve that I'm going to cut and fuse right in the middle. I start with cutting first. It is very important to use a cardboard to protect the plastic side you don't want to cut, because it is all about creating a pocket. This takes some time to master, but once you get the hang out of it, it's fine. So this is definitely a task made to strengthen one's patience. Believe me, it is very therapeutic. I'm using the ruler to fuse the plastic together, and I try to do it as close to the pocket hole or the cut as possible. The fuse tool is very easy to use. You have to get the hang out of it as well, because you kind of have to work out the pressure and the speed. I like to check if the plastic was sealed correctly, especially at the beginning when the tool isn't fully heated up. So let's just go over the steps again. So one is all about figuring out the layout. The second step is about cutting. And then the third step is all about sealing. And that's actually already it. So for that second part of ATs, I'm using my A5 sleeves as is. ATs was literally super easy to create. I just had to figure out afterwards how I wanted them to be placed, but that's all. For winner, the steps are the same. I had to create like 4 pocket holes for these Polaroid format photo cards. I was really proud of my winner section. I love this album from them because the aesthetics are just pleasing the photographer inside me. 17 was such a challenge. I made custom sleeves for all the cards that came with the You Made My Day Kino album. The format was so challenging that I almost freaked out, but the result is actually really nice. For the merch coming with my Anode albums, I tried doing something, but the format was very challenging as well, and I had to really secure it by fusing, so I would need to cut the sleeves the day I want to bring these things out again. For the paint I went through for my 17 section, I must say that it turned out nicely. It is hard sometimes to deal with a mix of horizontal and vertical paper merge. That is why I still think that figuring out the layout is the hardest step. Making it work afterwards depends on your craft abilities, I guess. I'm most often cutting first, but when I have to seal something vertically, I sometimes seal first to reduce the size of the cut afterwards. Yeah, I'm kinda lazy. Okay, so now let's start the drawing or decorating part. As the sleeves are sometimes too plain or have creepy holes, I decided to bring out the me who used to draw and attempt to make this binder a bit more cute and colorful, I guess. My drawing skills aren't what they once were, but I tried my best. Watch me giving BTS the retro vibe they deserve. What I like to do as well is writing quotes or lyrics that are touching me or kind of fit the vibe. I did that for 17 in particular, as they are my little babies. Or maybe it was just because I had a lot of blank space to work on as well. Okay, so let's get into the real business. I sorted out the groups in alphabetical order, starting with Astro. This collection is definitely going to be expanded, but for now this is what we're working with. It is already a lot. I mean, 80s is probably the one group I own the most albums from. 17 too, but that is because I have 4 versions of a node. My 80s section is very pleasing to the eye. The formats and concepts just work together. What I love about 80s and their albums, it's definitely how consistent they stayed throughout their releases. For example, the members always appear in the same order, like the age order. It will always be Hongjoon, Songhwa, Yuno, Yeosang, San, Mingi, Wooyoung, and Jungkook. And I try my best keeping this logic throughout this section. And I'm actually really interested to see how their album layout is going to evolve in the future. I'm pretty proud of this. It opens up with the track list, and it will end with the infos for the outro song, beginning of the end. I was like, it's slaying it. So these were in the horizontal format, and I tried to match them by colors concepts. To me, it kind of almost looks like a military graduation book. Tell me what you think about that. In my photo cards, I mostly got Songhwa and Yeosang. I was lucky enough to get my bias once. And I'm still missing Hongjoon in order to be, like, fully satisfied. My BTS section is a mess because I literally own nothing from them, but I tried to work it out. These pictures, for example, are from their winter package in Helsinki. Despite that, I own one Persona album. The rest of the photo cards you see with the white borders are unofficial. I'm just unsure about these two from V. Tell me if you know. Then we have my mismatch section. It is a work in progress, but I'm really proud of this newest cover page though. The GOT7 pictures are unofficial ones, but I'm planning on getting their die copy at some point, so this section definitely has its legitimate spot in this binder. Okay, this is a story. Not going to tell you my entire Monster X story in here, but I'll do it someday. Kyun came as a triplet, so anyone interested in adopting one of them can contact me. You have to know that I unboxed this album so quickly because I was just crying my balls out. It literally took me until I created this binder to properly look at my copies, and it still hurts. And see how many times I got 1-0. I'm really happy about that, but it just makes me want to cry. Okay, say the name 17. I couldn't figure out all the stickers. I initially wanted to write the member's name next to each sticker, but I was too afraid to mess it up. So if you guys know, DM me on Instagram. Let's just appreciate this section without me talking over it. Okay, now for the photo cards. I got Joshua and Dino twice, so I might be up to exchange with whoever might be interested. My teenage Wooji photo card is kinda lost in the middle of these Anode photo cards. Poor him. Okay, let's just enjoy this in silence again. Then we have my Super M section. Most of the photo cards I bought them as merch at their concert in London. Got Mark as my random photo card. I got a photo card of Mark and Taeyong from my albums. I originally got Tan, but I exchanged it with my friends as Tan is her favorite Super M member. Okay, The Boys is a work in progress because I'm still waiting on one of the album. Okay, so these are the lyrics of their last title song, Remember. Does it make me sad? Yeah, that is why I could not react to it. Mino is such a mood. These are stickers, but there is no way I'm going to use them. It's way too precious. I have these 4 photocards tries, so don't hesitate to tell me if you are interested. We are then entering the actually work in progress solo section. The Before We Begin album of Eric is a piece of art, I'm telling you. And Suwo's album got me because of its artsy vibe, and definitely in terms of concept, it's a real visual masterpiece. I couldn't stop myself getting a copy of my favorite album ever, the SUBTITLES album by Baekhyun. I wanted the day version, but it was nowhere to find, so night version it was. Baekhyun seems a bit lost in the middle of all these Suwos, but I guess he gotta live with that for now. So guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And otherwise, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in some next videos. Bye!